What's up, guys? Welcome back. We are still here in England for Players Classic, and that is coming up tomorrow. And we are staying with my good friend Chris Purr down here on the south coast of England. And we're about to pull one of his cars out, one of the cars that he is taking to Players tomorrow. And the Opel that we have driven from Poland, from Wrocław, Poland, through the Netherlands, where we modified it at Remco's shop, non-standard, and then drove on to England yesterday, is also in dire need of a detail and a wash. So we're going to wash the Opel first thing, and we're also going to pull Chris's wildly modified, by him, by hand, bagged Subaru SVX. So you guys may remember in the previous episode of when we were here, about a year ago, the back of his shop is a long grass alleyway, and it comes down here to the end where you can go right or left, and you decide to go left, and here's someone else's garage, obviously a little shed. Down here at the end sits two wildly special and wildly unique Subarus. The Brat's currently not here, but what is here is the SVX.
Oh yeah.
How stoked are you that this thing has finally started to come together for Players?
Yeah, I mean it's been like a long time. I mean I've had like the first iteration of it done for a while, but the bits that kind of come together have only kind of gone in the last year, but they really make the car massively, because it flows now, because before it looked a bit kind of empty at the back and a bit like kind of like sunk in the middle, but now everything flows and it just looks how it should be from the factory.
I think so, yeah. Oh well, if the SVX came with a homologation like race car for the public consumption,
like an OEM plus kind of kit.
So we've already talked about this car in pretty good detail last year, but to recap, Nissan S14 bumper, S14A bumper that you've heavily modified to fit the SVX. You know, in America we have SVXs.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, they were one of my favorite Subarus, except for the fact that they only came in automatic and they were like close but no cigar type deal.
Yeah.
And so seeing what you did with the S14 bumper, it's so wildly correct for what this car should have come with.
It's kind of it's made the car how it should on the factory, because
it normally like slopes way in.
It sucks in. It makes it look a lot longer than that. It's a long car anyway. It makes it look even longer with the standard bumper. But now it's like it's fitting. It's kind of
and it's tucked well. You know, like the front. You've made the front end like very European and sleek.
Yeah. It's proportionate. You know, it looked a little bit goofy.
And new wheels.
Yep.
So these are new since I've been here. I knew about them, but have not seen the car in person with them yet. Color combo is awesome. Now, what you've been working on since we were here last are these guys right here. This is stuff that I've wanted to do myself for a long time, and I've never even scratched the surface yet. So you've basically taken this bone stock car and designed your own body kit and then made it from scratch.
Well, I mean, they're S14A side skirts, but they've been extended.
Yeah.
In height and length. Same with the bumper, also it'd be extended in length.
Right.
So everything like the swage line has been extended.
Yep.
And then the swage line has been mimicked in the rear spat.
These you had kind of finished, but not finished, but you'd made.
I kind of lost hope.
Yeah. But you stuck it through.
Yeah.
You stuck it through, and they look insane. And these you just made. You just made these rear pieces from here and down, and these ones you scratch made. Yeah, from scratch.
Yeah.
With this swage line here, so good. And I mean, obviously, I would be doing the same. You made it so it's bumper on the floor, side skirt on the floor, spat basically on the floor. So the rear bumper sits way higher.
Which
so
in hindsight might not have been the best idea I've had, but.
You talked about that in one of your episodes, right?
Yeah.
So Chris has a YouTube episode. The link is in the video's description below. And he had a mishap. There's a pretty aggressive drop out of this driveway, or out of the garage into the grass driveway. And when he stepped down, he didn't have it aired up high enough. And this was just decimated and crushed on the concrete. So then you had a chance to do it all over again.
Which is the best thing. Like, I wanted to do it anyway.
And that was how many days before Retro Rides?
4
days before Retro Rides. And had to redo the fiberglass, prep work, paint, all of that.
I did it in 4 hours.
So,
out of fear.
Yeah. So He's going to get this thing fired up and pull it out because ultimately he's getting it back over to his place for tomorrow. We might actually take it to Goodwood tonight, so you might actually see us head over to Goodwood tonight. I think tomorrow, day one of Players, is going to be its own episode, so we might get a chance to see Goodwood Motor Circuit in this episode the Friday before Players. So we're going to pull this thing out now and head back over to his place where we will wash the Polo. Not the Polo. I keep forgetting what car I have and what's going on. The Opel Kadett. We're going to wash that because that thing is in desperate need of cleaning after getting trailered from Gera, Germany through a monsoon to the middle of Poland and then driving from Poland almost 1,000 miles. I think it was like 1,700 kilometers from there to here. So we've got to wash that thing before tomorrow. Easy. Now hold on. Let me take this block out. Okay. Yep. Now hold on. Yep. Spaceship.
Spaceship. 4x4 spaceship right now.
No spat damage.
Nothing.
So we're good.
We're fine. We can stop sweating now. Right, yeah. Someone might need to spot me when I'm manoeuvring.
Yeah.
Because it's a long boy.
No way.
The battery has been pretty low, so I think we should drive it and just charge it.
Yep, you're clear. Forget how crazy, like this was, how crazy annoying this was.
Like, but great at the same time because you can cruise. Otherwise you'll carry around motorway at speed and...
Yeah, I mean that was the whole point.
Yeah.
So they were kind of like aerodynamic.
Yeah, when you want to wave at someone, it's just like...
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Whatever.
Sorry, I'm in a spaceship.
Yeah. Go to the moon.
I can't believe they didn't make a manual in these things.
Apparently, they didn't make one strong enough.
Huh. Flat six.
Yep.
Flat six noises.
I love it.
So I'm just trying to get some nice clips of outside. And
Yeah, and then there's like someone put a window in the way.
so we're on the coast of Worthing right now. You like the ocean? Mm-hmm. This is Kayla's favorite part of the trip right here. She finally sees some water. Because in Poland and Germany, we didn't see hardly any water.
Nothing. Landlocked.
Yeah.
Second oldest cinema in the country.
In England?
Yep.
Wow.
And that's where Haley and I got married.
In the cinema?
Yep.
Because you two are much like me, you're absolute movie nerds.
Yep. So I had to get married in a cinema.
Of course. I like Worthing, dude.
I love it.
It's very chilled out.
I mean, Brighton's amazing too, and you're close enough to Brighton, but Worthing's like the not so clustered, not so insane.
It's the not
Brighton.
it's the not dirty version of Brighton.
Yeah.
Brighton's nice, but it's pretty grimy.
Yeah.
And it's very, very busy.
It's a great sounding motor.
Yeah, I know.
Sounds great. I haven't talked about this on the channel at all. I may have told you, but the mid-90s legacy wagon is one of my favorite Subarus.
Yeah.
And
That shape.
this seems like a great place to tell this quick little story. So my dad is a muscle car guy, late 60s GM muscle car guy, fabricator. Raced Mark I Rabbits on the ice when I was a kid. So that's how I got into Volkswagens, right? But what got me into slammed cars, I don't know about you, but most people might remember the first time they saw a slammed car. The shock value of seeing a car slammed on the ground in person sticks with you the first time. And that first time for me was my father owned a towing company. So we'd always get junk cars in the backyard, cars that he would tow, some cars that people would abandon, and there was nothing wrong with the car, but there'd be no keys. So there were always, the impound lot in the backyard was always filled with wild cars, some of which he would get the titles to and then sell. He towed a legacy wagon, a white one, with the blue interior, like a 95 maybe, that was in a front end collision. And it was nice enough to warrant fixing it and then selling it. So while he accumulated the parts for the front end to rebuild this legacy wagon, the air suspension in it, because it was a factory air car, the air suspension had let out. And the whole car laid flat on the ground. As far as I was concerned, it was flat out on the ground.
Light bulb.
So when he put the car back together, put the front end on it, hood, fenders, grill, headlights, all that stuff, backed it out of the shop, it sat in the backyard for a while and settled down. And every time I walked by that car, it like spoke to me in a way that changed my life, because here we are, like 25 years later, 20 years later, bagging cars. So it was a mid-90s Subaru, the car that got me into slammed cars. I still want to build one. Every time I see a slammed one at a show, it speaks to me differently than other cars. Not because I have to have a 95 Subaru Legacy wagon. It's because that shape is the first car I saw in person slammed on the ground.
Yeah.
So
good.
Seeing all these like switches. What year is this?
This is a 95.
95?
Yeah.
Because everything looks as I remember it. Like the vents, the window switches, all the little toggle switches, momentary switches. All right, so I'm calling it out here. One of these days, you guys are going to see me do something weird or put my style on a mid-90s Subaru Legacy wagon. I'm calling it out right now.
He's joining the club.
I was going to get the Merc MOT'd.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I haven't done it for this year. I haven't driven it out. And it failed to start, and it's like down on compression.
Oh
And I
no.
was like, I'll leave it. Obviously, being a machinist, I was like, I'll make some adapters.
So
for this,
good.
Put the RSs on it.
So good. So we're on our way to Goodwood, and my friend Andy hit us up, wondering where we were at, because he's here in his really sweet Commer van. The sweetest thing ever. And he thinks he might have an adapter that's loose, and he broke his jack trying to get this thing up. So we swung over here on our way to Goodwood to hopefully utilize Chris's SVX jack, and hopefully it'll be enough to get him sorted out. But we're just down the street from Goodwood, so we're not far. But this thing is so cool. We just got done talking about wanting a Subaru Legacy wagon on the channel. This is their real channel project. Something like this, body dropped. And some of you like long old timers on the Instagram know about my 52 Chevy cab over. That's still back home in New Hampshire, unfinished. 12 valve Cummins with a 5-speed on air. Far from done, but a lot of work done as well. And I keep thinking about that when I see rigs like this, trying to get back and finish it out with my dad so we can put that cab over on the road. But this thing is so cool. Andy has been a long-time Governor's Club kid, and he's got a really cool S124 Mercedes wagon on usually those RSs that are on that Commer van. We don't have a jack that'll have enough range of motion to lift that thing up. So on to Goodwood. Oh, and he's not stranded, by the way. We didn't leave him stranded. He's fine. Because I can see the comments now, like, you left your friend?
Yeah.
We're literally right down the street from Goodwood, and his hotel is basically across the street. So he's going to limp it back across the street and wait for his friends who are coming directly with proper tools. Alright guys, well you'll see more of this tomorrow, but for now we are going to hang at Goodwood for a little bit as the Players boys are still here. So tomorrow this will all be filled with cars. All this grass, the main green is over here, the paddocks are over here. This place is Motorsport Hallowed Ground. I'd say just drive around.
Yeah.
Drive around to the front.
Where my thing ended and ended and
All right, guys, we're here at Goodwood Motor Circuit. We're just walking around. Everyone's getting set up. Hung out with Jay and Carl for a little bit when we first got here. Now we're just walking around, gonna meet up with a few more people. Hey, I just saw you. Good to see you, my friend. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. All right, so we're back from Goodwood. Pizza is ordered. Had a cool run out in the SVX. I hadn't been in this car yet. Indeed, I don't think I've ever been in an XVX. So this is its first wash since Remco surprised me with this car and left it with me in Germany and basically said, see you in the Netherlands and then again in England. So we're gonna get this thing prepped and ready. Goodwood was awesome. We got a chance to hang out with a whole bunch of people. Again, didn't film it, just standing in circles talking with friends, and yeah, kind of weird filming a lot of that stuff. So saw Keisel, saw the Roll Hard boys, saw the Drift Games guys, saw the Players guys, obviously hung out with Jay and Carl, Ben, Remco showed up, James Brown, a bunch of boys we haven't seen in a while. So now we're just back at Chris's house, and he's already washing the Opel, which I was planning on doing, but he's already at it.
I can't help myself.
All right, guys, well, that's it for this episode. Just kind of a daily vlog of our first day here in England, hanging out with Chris and his wife, Haley. Super stoked for day one of Players Classic tomorrow. Be sure to check out Chris's YouTube channel. The link is in the video's description below to check out all the crazy stuff he's doing with his Subarus. Make sure to come to the Ludwig's Garage Meet tomorrow, 7 to 10 p.m. This episode will be out after the meet, but I hope to see you guys there nonetheless. Dead straight until I start filming. Really appreciate all of your guys' support and for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.